Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for attending our Faculty of Science information session. It's great to see we have almost already about 50 students and climbing in the Zoom webinar right now, so we're really excited to have you. Without further ado, we'll get started, and this session will live it's being recorded, so you guys are totally able to return and come back and watch this on demand at any time throughout the month of November. Just before we begin, I'll introduce myself. My name is Jackson, and I'm an assistant registrar at Dalhousie University, and I support recruitment for students. So if you have any general questions about recruitment or the university, please feel free to reach out, but I will let all of the incredible speakers that we have today really allow their experiences, their expertise to shine. I'll just have one housekeeping item before I pass it on, and that's if you have any questions, we welcome and love all questions, and we'd love for you to add them specifically in the Q&A function of Zoom for us to be able to answer. So without further ado, I'll pass it on to Patricia. Why don't you go ahead and get us started, and thanks everyone for joining us today.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Welcome, everyone. I'm so pleased to be able to welcome you to the Faculty of Science information session. My name is Patricia Laws. I'm the Assistant Dean for Students in the Faculty of Science, and I'm going to facilitate the discussion today. I'd also like to introduce Gabrielle Tompkins, who is our Director for the Integrated Science Program, Carrie Ann Ryan, who is the coordinator for first-year interest groups, and Brogan Rieger, who is a student at Dal, a science student. She's a fourth-year student, and we're so excited for Brogan to share her experience with you all as well. Before I jump into the presentation, I would like to take a moment. I'm standing here in the Life Sciences Center at Dalhousie University on a beautiful Saturday morning, and I'd like to begin by acknowledging that Dalhousie University and we are in Mi'kma'ki, the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people, and we are all treaty people. I would also like to acknowledge the histories, contributions, and legacies of the African Nova Scotian people and the communities who have been here for over 400 years. To get started, I'd like to give you just a brief overview of the Faculty of Science at Dalhousie and a bit of a sense of the scope of the role that we have at Dalhousie. The Faculty of Science is Dalhousie's largest faculty. We have over 18 different programs, over 4,000 students, and 200 faculty members who are leading experts in their fields in research and are also outstanding educators and teachers at Dalhousie and are actively involved in the teaching and learning in the Faculty of Science. As you are embarking on this really exciting phase of your life and are trying to make your decision about what you want to do, where you want to go, and what you want to study, I thought I would start by just talking a little bit about what we feel that experience is like for students, and really encourage you to consider all aspects of the university experience and of the Dalhousie science experience. We encourage our students really to take their time at in Dal Science and make it their own, to really work to customize and create an academic experience that speaks to your interests, your skills, and your passions and where you want your undergraduate experience to take you. We also encourage students to become engaged, to become active members of Dal Science, of Dalhousie, of Halifax, and of Nova Scotia, and to take that co-curricular experience, that learning experience that happens outside of the classroom, and really help to round out your full Dal experience. I'm going to talk both about the academic and the co-curricular experiences today, and our guests, our invited speakers, are going to also talk to you about their roles with those pieces. So to start off, let's focus a little bit on the academic experience. There's lots of times when at university, we may use language that's a little bit different from what you might have heard in high school. And so focusing on that academic experience, we're really talking about the courses that you're going to take, the programs that you're going to take, and the opportunities that you have within those courses and programs. It could be the required program courses that you're going to select for your major, like biology or chemistry, or maybe marine biology. But there's also those elective course opportunities that really can springboard you into a really fulsome university experience. So those electives are classes that you get to choose. They're classes that maybe you have a passion and an interest in biology and history, and you want to be able to take some history classes. Those elective classes allow you to look at science differently, look at the world differently, and really expand your perspective, and allow your university degree to really take you to the next phase of your learning. There's also lots of opportunities for credentials, like declaring a minor or certificate. Sometimes electives can springboard you into a new opportunity. And there's also lots of work integrated learning opportunities like co-op. As I talk about our programs and the subjects that students can take and can major in at Dalhousie, in many cases we have, or in all cases, we have a very wide variety of programs that we offer. Some of these are subjects that you may be studying right now in high school, like chemistry or biology or math. But some of them may be programs that you haven't had an opportunity to get experience with yet. Perhaps something like environmental science or psychology, neuroscience, or maybe you have a passion for marine biology or biochemistry, and also our microbiology and immunology programs. All of these subjects are areas that you have an opportunity to pursue. And so I encourage you, as you're coming to Dal and you're making your decisions about Dal science and what subjects you want to take, I encourage you to really engage with our programs and identify where those passions are for you and what it is that you're interested in learning about. We'll talk about this a little bit more throughout the program, but that's sort of that grounding experience of really looking into what you really love to learn and what you love to study. I also want to focus on the two programs that I've highlighted in yellow on my screen. The medical sciences program is a unique program to Dal Science, and you can learn a lot more about the medical sciences program. We actually have a separate presentation on this program happening today at 12 noon. So I'd encourage you to join that information session to learn more from Julie Jordan about what they're doing, what they do with their program. The Integrated Science Program is a unique first-year program for Dal Science students. It really gives them an opportunity to look at the connections between the science disciplines that they're learning. I'm going to turn it over to Gabrielle Tompkins, who's going to tell you a little bit more about what our Integrated Science Program is about.
Thank you so much, Patricia. And thank you so much to everyone who has joined us. I see many of you are joining from all over the world, and some within Nova Scotia and within Canada. So the Integrated Science Program, it is a way to begin your Bachelor of Science program. It's an option for beginning your Bachelor of Science program. So it's a way to complete the first year of your BSc. And I like to think of it as a junior scientist training program. So just a few features of this unique program. It is called integrated because we look at bringing things together. So we look at the links between different subjects that are taught within the program. So you would have, for example, weekly sessions where you're exploring topics that span different sciences. An example might be science reporting, or biomechanics might be another subject. We have a session on gene editing or history of life. These would be unique sessions in first year. It is a small program, so we take 80 keen science students each year. And because we are small, we are able to offer some unique experiences. In the fall, we engage in coastal field trips. So here you have some pictures from our coastal field trips, and these often span biology, earth science, and chemistry. Because we are small, we are also able to offer what I think is the highlight for most DISP students, and that's a 10-week research project. So this is unique in Canada, the ability to actually complete a research project in the first year of your science degree. We recruit supervisors from host labs throughout the university, and also from partner institutions like the National Research Council or the Bedford Institute of Oceanography. And our students are typically in the lab about one afternoon a week in the winter term, working on a unique question, typically in small teams. So it's a great way to launch yourself into science earlier in your degree. If you're considering research, this is a great approach, but this is not exclusively for students that are interested in pursuing research. If you're just enthusiastic about science and want to be part of a small learning community with like-minded students, this is a great option. And you can see our website here if you're interested in more information. Jackson or Patricia, could you move me to the next slide? So just briefly, the elements of the program, and I won't take long because we want to allow time for questions. Our students take core classes that actually have multiple components included within them. So just briefly, everything that is included in the boxes here, these are things that you're taking with your cohort of 80 keen science students. So in the fall, you would take a core class that includes biology, psychology, and statistics prepares you for the research projects. In the winter, we exchange statistics for earth science. We also have a writing class that spans the fall and winter term. This writing in science includes writing about field reports in the fall term, and then in the winter term, it includes your research project. Our students also take ethics and science, and this is a great way to complement any science degree. Then separately, outside of our boxed components, which is our core of 80, you would take classes with other science students. So you would also be in the larger chemistry class and in calculus. If you're interested in physics, you can still take the integrated science program, but there are some shifts that we need to make in order to make the course load a little bit more feasible because physics students have some more required courses. We have a separate application for the integrated science program. It is included on our website. So it's a written application that you would submit and you would send your transcripts directly to us at the email address here. So I'll be around for questions, and I'll be also manning the integrated science booth within the Faculty of Science booth for at least a few hours a day before I have to shuttle my kids to hockey. And then I'll be on my phone still trying to answer questions. So thank you for the opportunity to talk.
Thank you, Gabrielle. So Gabrielle has shared with you that the integrated science program really is an elite opportunity for students to get that research program. I also wanted to share with you today a bit about our first year interest groups. This is a program that's available to all of our first year science students. And I'm going to turn it over to Carrie Ann Ryan, who's going to share her experiences and her vast knowledge about our FIGS program. Carrie Ann?
Hi, thanks, Patricia. Welcome, everyone. So I see there's a lot of people who like whales, so we have something for you here. So the first year interest groups are actually kind of a unique, interesting opportunity. So on top of your classes, which could be, vast amounts of learning, some review from some things you've done in high school, and then some other new information, we have this opportunity to meet weekly for 50 minutes with another group of students that have similar interests to you in the science realm. And so they're a great way to meet people, to connect around something you're interested in, to make connections that will likely take you through the rest of your degree. So whether you're thinking of psychology or marine, or if you don't even know, you can join one that seems interesting to you and fits your schedule, and it's a good way to explore. So we allow students sort of exposure to senior students, experts, professors, labs, and facilities, help talk you through how you can get involved in research, how you can get involved in labs, what kind of communities exist on campus for you. So the ones we offer in the fall are psychology, neuroscience of the brain, health and medicine, oceans, earth and environment, and then a logic and problem solving one. And then in the winter, we have one that is for people of all backgrounds that is about how to navigate your science degree. So it answers some of those questions about How do you start to plan to choose your courses going forward, choosing your majors, when and where and how you do that. You'll get a chance to meet with some advisors and things of that nature, which can be really valuable for you. And the big thing that's great about this course, both versions of the fall and winter, is that it's free and you just register online so rather than looking up like biology, you would look up first year interest groups in science, and then you just register for your FIGs right there. They're free, they're once weekly, there's no homework, there's no tests. It's just a great chance to sort of get to explore together. And I think there's another slide if you don't mind forwarding it. So some of the past sessions, just to give you an overview, there'll be hot topics or debates and discussions. So some of those things that you might not get to do as much in a 1,000-person lecture hall, science in the media, science in the world, talking about science speed sharing, meeting a whole bunch of different professors or researchers in your area of interest. We get to visit some labs or facilities. We talk about volunteering in labs, and you'll hear from some experiences of senior students. We'll have invited guest speakers. We try to tailor those to the interests of the people in the actual FIG sections. And then we do some problem-based learning and this other activities as well. So if you have any questions about the program, you can feel free to email me, but it's a great opportunity to start talking about some of those things that you're really passionate about right off the bat. And yeah, I guess I will hand it back to you, Patricia.
Thank you so much, Carrie Ann. So we've talked about two opportunities at the first year level. I wanted to very briefly, at a glance, give you an opportunity to hear about two of our programs that are quite popular, and I'm sure many of you have interests in that. I do want to share that the majority of our programs all have chat discussions running at our science booth. They have individual program-specific chats, and so I'd really encourage you after this session to drop into the chat and get to know some of the people from Dal Science. We have undergraduate students and faculty members who are spread out across the day and are happy to answer any questions that you have. Just to give you a sense of our marine biology program, we have many of you, as many of you know, Halifax and Nova Scotia we're an ocean city and we're an ocean province. And so having this marine biology program offers us that unique opportunity to really engage in the field. And so I want to share one of the strengths of our marine biology program is the fact that our students have the opportunity to participate in the Seaside program in the summer, where they can be taking classes on observing whales, where you're actually out in the Bay of Fundy or in the ocean observing the whales in their natural habitat. There's also a sharks, skates and rays class where you're participating in a tagging program to be able to track sharks in the ocean waters. There's lots of great opportunities within the marine biology program, including societies that you can become involved in. There's honors and honors research and co-op opportunities as well. Our alumni, and I'm going to profile very briefly our alumni, Sonia Lee, they go on to do a broad range of different pieces. Sonia is actually the producer of Ocean School. So if you've ever had an interaction in your high school with the Ocean School program, that programming was produced by one of our Dal marine biology alum. I also wanted to share with you our neuroscience program, where students have an opportunity to really understand the chemistry and the biology of the brain and really delve deeply into an understanding of the functions of the brain. There's lots of really great research opportunities, volunteer opportunities within our neuroscience program, as well as some great courses that allow you to really look at the interdisciplinary aspect of neuroscience, as well as some exchange opportunities. I wanted to briefly profile another one of our alum, Gracious. Gracious was a student who often attended and participated at our open house events, just like Brogan. And Gracious had one really great piece of advice to share. Gracious had a passion for neuroscience that he really didn't get to explore within his high school education. But he found that he had a passion that he really followed on YouTube. And he used to get lost down YouTube wormholes, following and watching different videos about neuroscience. And that is one of the things that helped him to springboard into a discussion at an open house with one of our faculty members at the program fair to talk about neuroscience and really start to explore where his passion lied within science. So I just wanted to share that there is a lot of really valuable things that can happen at these open houses, and encourage you to connect with our faculty. Want to now focus on the student experience about making it your own, and I'm going to turn it over to Brogan because I think you've heard a lot from the faculty and staff of Dal Science, but I want to turn it over to a student who can talk about their own firsthand experience.
Hey, awesome. Thank you. So hi, everyone. I want to first start to mention to you guys why I chose Dal. So I'm from a small town in Saskatchewan, and I was kind of really nervous to go to university in a bigger city. So after grade 10, I came to Halifax and I toured Dalhousie. And I found that even though Dalhousie has more students than are in my whole town that I grew up in, it really has a small town feel. The professors really care about you. It's a very welcoming community, and it's just great to connect with people and find friends, just like if you were in a small town. I also loved the opportunity for hands-on learning and the cool courses you could take. And some of those that I've taken are climate change, ecology and evolution of fish, and a course all about marine mammals. While I've been at Dal, I've taken advantage of some volunteering opportunities. One of the main things I do is I give virtual presentations to elementary students in Saskatchewan about marine life and the ocean in general. And I just wanted to do this because many kids there haven't had the opportunity to learn about the ocean. And I think that the more we learn about the ocean, the more passionate we are to protect it. And another volunteer experience that I'm sure lots of you will be interested in from your love of whales is I'm volunteering with Dr. Boris Worm and their Whales from Space program. So what this involves is we're actually training an artificial intelligence system to identify and record sightings of large marine mammals. So that could be like whales, dolphins. We also look at turtles and sharks. And this happens through satellite imaging. So every week I go through about 200 pictures and I mark any animals that we find. And the main goal of this project is that we'll be able to better monitor populations of marine animals like whales and dolphins and many endangered species as well. Another incredible opportunity that I've had while I was at Dalhousie is I was able to participate in the first ever John Dingle Science Communications internship. And the first part of this is you do a training with the Faculty of Science, and you're able to learn lots of skills that will help you in your degree and any future career that you may choose. And some of the skills we learned were writing, oral communications, and media relations. And for my placement, I was placed with the Ocean Tracking Network, which is based out of Dalhousie. And while I was working there, I designed posts for their social media accounts, interviewed researchers, created educational videos, and I even wrote an article that was published in Dal News about a seal cam that was recently discovered. I loved my time working with OTN so much that I decided to explore an experiential learning opportunity with them. And what experiential learning is it's a great way to gain hands-on experience in your field of interest. So you're able to volunteer with a lab or an organization like the Ocean Tracking Network and earn a credit for your work. So I'm currently doing that this fall semester. And my main goal is introducing Instagram as a platform for OTN because they currently don't use Instagram. So what I'm doing is I'm creating a communications plan, developing templates for posts, and making all of the stories and feed posts for Instagram as well. And lastly, I just kind of want to touch on electives because like Patricia mentioned, electives are a great way to make your experience unique. And I encourage you to take some classes that you may not know anything about or that aren't related to your field, but you find interesting. One example is I took alchemy and I had no clue what it was and I just thought it was interesting and it ended up being one of my favorite classes that I took at Dalhousie. And I've also taken Italian and French. So there's lots of different options for you to take and I just really encourage you to make the most of your experience. Also, like Patricia mentioned, there is an open house booth happening, and I will be there after this presentation if you guys have any questions that hasn't been answered. So I'll pass it back over to Patricia.
Thank you, Brogan. That's wonderful. So you've heard from Brogan and a lot about the experience that Brogan has had during her time at Dal Science. I wanted to share with you a really unique opportunity for you to get to know a bit more about the people of Dal Science, the students, the faculty, and the alumni. We have a podcast that we offer. We're in our 4th year of the podcast. It's called Sciographies. And it really shares the biography of our scientists, the story of their journey from deciding what they wanted to study in university and their high school experience and how they made their decisions, the opportunities they had that led them to be where they are today. And they also share about the science that they do here at Dal and really share about the experiences that they've had with Dal Science. So really encourage you to check it out and really get to know the people at Dal in Dal Science and the people who make science happen. Hopefully today you have heard from all of us about the experiences and the opportunities at Dal, but hopefully one of the big take-home messages that we want to share with you is that when students decide to come to Dalhousie and to become a member of our Dal Science community, we really welcome you to come and be true to who you are. We want you to bring all of you to Dal Science. We're so privileged in our community at Dalhousie to have that opportunity to learn from each and every one of you that come to Dalhousie and help to make us a better place. We really encourage you to bring all of those skills and experiences to become involved in our community in Halifax, at Dalhousie, and in Nova Scotia. Stay true to who you are and really make that experience your own. If you have any questions, I think we have 3 minutes that we have reserved for a question, but also as Brogan said, please, we encourage you to attend the Dal Science booth and really engage with our folks who are at Dal Science booth. And I'm going to stop sharing now. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much, Patricia, and everyone else here. I know we only have 2 minutes. So I'm going to go through some questions that we do have. So Michael has asked, what does the first year schedule look like? And what is a typical course load? And how will it be arranged for students in the Bachelor of Science?
I'd be happy to take that. So a typical course load would involve often 3 biology or 3 science classes. Perhaps, and most popular would be first year biology, first year psychology, and first year chemistry, as well as a math. And we encourage students to also take an elective class that maybe covers off an elective from the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences. So maybe cover off your language and humanities requirements or your writing requirements. That said, the message of our presentation today really was about making your program your own. So typically, you'll often see students have a 5 course load or a 4 course load, depending on what their unique and individual circumstances are. And so really do take that time to think about what's right for you. What are those courses that you're passionate about? And work with our advisors in the Bissett Student Success Center. When it comes time for registration, they offer a program called Register on Track, where you actually will have a presentation. I'll probably be there because I usually attend the presentation and talk about what you can register for and enroll in, and really try to help you make those decisions that are right for you for structuring your program.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Patricia. And we have one question from Cora. In the DIS program, how would marine biology fall into the outcomes and learning objectives of that program?
So I guess the marine biology would fall in a few ways quite strongly. So I guess learning objectives would, I can't recall them specifically for marine biology at the moment. However, typically for a marine biology program, you would start by taking first year biology. You would take a term calculus, you would take your chemistry as your foundation courses. our program is excellent preparation for marine biology because we include those coastal field trips. So we're, in addition to the regular first year biology, which I teach, we have 4 full-day field trips to coastal sites where you're able to look at different aspects of biology and to link them with oceanography and earth science. Separately, you have the option of completing a research project that might relate to marine biology. So I typically poll the students to see where the interests are in the class. And as usual this year, our strongest interest group is among marine biology. So we do seek marine biology research project opportunities for our students wherever we can. The statistics component is also excellent preparation for marine biology. So you complete statistics in first year, and then in second year in marine biology, you would also complete statistics. So thanks for the question.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Gabrielle. And as we are a minute over time, unfortunately, we'll have to end this session, but we want to thank everyone for joining. And just to plug that if you do have any questions or any questions that were unanswered, please visit the Bachelor of Science or the Faculty of Sciences booth in our virtual fair and open house, and we'll be all happy to answer your questions. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.